Good evening. My name is Dustin McCrory, and for this presentation, I'll be examining the Louisiana Department of Education Educational Technology Plan, specifically the 2022 revised version. As a STEM teacher in Ascension Parish and a doctoral student at LSU, I wanted to explore how the state's technology planning aligns with both my professional context and the broader conversations about educational technology, equity, and digital literacy. The document I selected is the Louisiana Department of Education's Educational Technology Plan. This plan serves as a statewide framework for educational technology integration. Rather than functioning as a curriculum document, it provides guidance for school systems and schools as they develop local technology initiatives and make decisions regarding technology implementation. The plan focuses on improving educational opportunities through technology while also emphasizing equity, digital responsibility, and technological fluency. In other words, it attempts to answer not only what technology schools should have, but also how technology can support students' learning. I selected this plan because it is directly relevant to my work as a STEM teacher in Ascension Parish. One challenge I've encountered during this assignment was that I was unable to locate a publicly available educational technology plan for either Ascension Parish schools or Santa Mont Middle School. While the district advertises a one to one technology environment and highlights several technology initiatives, I could not find a formal technology planning document. Because the Louisiana Educational Technology Plan is intended to guide local planning efforts, it became the most relevant and comprehensive document available for analysis. This plan is also relevant to my doctoral work at LSU. Two concepts that immediately came to mind while reading the plan were critical digital literacy and liberatory pedagogy. Critical digital literacy asks us to examine not only how technology is used, but also who benefits from its use, who may be excluded, and how technology shapes power relationships. Similarly, liberatory pedagogy encourages educators to empower students as active participants rather than passive consumers. These perspectives influenced how I evaluated the plan, particularly when considering questions of equity, access, and student agency. The Louisiana Educational Technology Plan is intended to guide, inform, and influence educational technology decisions throughout the state. The plan is grounded in the Louisiana Department of Education's belief to achieve priorities. These priorities focus on preparing students for careers, college, or service, removing barriers to learning, providing high quality educational experiences, developing effective educators, and cultivating strong systems and partnerships. What I found interesting is that technology is not presented as a separate goal. Instead, technology is positioned as a tool that supports these broader educational objectives. The plan identifies five strategic goals. First, preparing teachers and educational leaders to effectively use technology. Second, creating equitable access for students and families. Third, developing systems and structures that support access. Fourth, providing effective digital technologies and resources. And fifth, developing student technological fluency. Taken together, these goals emphasize a balance between people, infrastructure, and learning outcomes. The plan recognizes that technology alone does not improve education. Successful implementation depends on educator preparation and student readiness as well. The plan is built on several foundational principles that support its strategic goals. These foundations emphasize collaboration, leadership, equity, responsible technology use, and continuous improvement. What stands out is that the plan consistently frames technology as a means to support teaching and learning rather than as an end in itself. The perspective aligns with many contemporary views of educational technology, which emphasize purposeful integration over simply increasing the number of devices in schools. To evaluate the Louisiana plan, I compared it with the 2024 National Educational Technology Plan. The Louisiana plan aligns closely with several national priorities. For digital equity, Louisiana emphasizes equitable access for students and families. For professional learning, the state prioritizes teacher and leader preparation. For infrastructure, the plan addresses broadband access and technology systems. For active learning, it supports instructional technology integration. And for digital citizenship, it promotes technological fluency and responsible use. Overall, there is substantial overlap between the state and national priorities. The strongest alignment occurs around digital access and infrastructure. Both plans recognize that students must have access to devices, connectivity, and learning resources. However, I would argue that the Louisiana Plan is somewhat more infrastructure based than the 2024 National Educational Technology Plan. The National Plan places greater emphasis on how technology is used in learning environments, particularly through its discussion of the digital design divide and digital use divide. Louisiana addresses these concerns, but not with the same level of emphasis or detail. One tension I've identified involves the relationship between access and impact. Many districts, including my own, highlight one to one technology initiatives as evidence of equitable access. However, access alone does not guarantee meaningful learning experiences. A student may have a device every day and still primarily use technology for passive activities. This raises an important question. How should schools measure the educational impact of technology investments? If we focus only on device distribution, we may overlook whether technology is actually improving learning outcomes. Another challenge involves implementation. Districts often adopt technology platforms with good intentions, but teachers vary widely in their comfort and expertise. When technology is mandated without sufficient support, it can actually increase workload and frustration. This concern connects closely with the National Educational Technology Plan's discussion of the digital design divide. Providing technology is important, but helping educators use it effectively is equally important. The rapid development of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity threats, and data privacy concerns all create additional challenges. The pace of technological change often exceeds the pace of educational policy development. As schools increasingly adopt AI tools, they must address issues of ethics, privacy, academic integrity, and security. Rather than responding after problems emerge, educational leaders should proactively develop policies and professional learning opportunities that prepare educators and students for these realities. Finally, infrastructure challenges vary significantly across communities. Rural and urban areas often face different barriers to connectivity. While broadband access is discussed throughout the plan, implementation may require different strategies depending on local circumstances. This reminds us that statewide goals must ultimately be adapted to local needs. My primary recommendation is to create a comprehensive digital literacy curriculum that spans kindergarten through 12th grade. Such a curriculum would go beyond basic technology use and include topics such as computer systems, file management, information literacy, digital communication, privacy, cybersecurity, algorithms, social media literacy, and artificial intelligence. I would argue that these skills are becoming as fundamental as traditional literacy skills. Additionally, creating dedicated instructional space for these topics would reduce the burden currently placed on teachers in other subject areas to teach digital skills alongside their own content. This approach would better prepare students for higher education, the workforce, and participation in an increasingly digital society. Thank you for your time. My primary source for this presentation was the